Cancer. Greetings and salutations, my friends. Today I am pulling cards with the intentions of calling out issues of self-care and how it affects relationships. The idea behind this read is that improving self will improve all relationships in our life, be it romantic or otherwise. So, Cancer, you're having difficulty. You're having difficulty apologizing to somebody, you know? The fight, the conflict, the win at all costs, the this and that, whatever energy of the past, you're kind of coming out of that and you recognize that an apology needs to happen. An apology may even need to happen on both ends, but you're having difficulty being the one to initiate that conversation. Ultimately, it affects your resources, right? This conflict that you had affected your resources. So you stuck to your guns, you stuck to your truth, you stuck to your the word I'm looking for here. It's not your idea. You stuck to the theme of the concept, right? Because it was affecting the way that your resources were managed. Now, when I talk about resources, you're talking about health, you're talking about wealth, and you're talking about time management. You needed certain absolutes. That's why there was that win at all cost attitude. But ultimately, the burden of maintaining these absolutes kind of left you stuck in your head, and you found yourself I want to say agonizing and second guessing, and so you question the selfishness of the situation, you know, like the burden was yours to bear, and you're like, I got this. This is my concept. This is my idea. This is my whatever. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure this happens. Blah, blah, blah. And then pushing yourself through it, the load became really, really heavy, and you're like, why did I take on so much? Why did it have to be my way? Why did I make it so I have to do all the heavy lifting in this particular relationship? Why was I so stubborn? Why did it have to be this particular way? Right? Hmm. See, and you find yourself not being able to walk away, but you also find yourself not wanting to pull the strings of this particular situation anymore. So here's what I get, Cancer. You took on a lot, right? You took on the responsibility of this union, of this relationship, of this task, of this concept, of this idea, of your relationship with this group, be it one person or be it a group of people. Like you kept saying, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. It has to be done right. It has to be done well. It has to be done this. It has to be done that. So ultimately, you made it so the other people are coming to you for everything. You didn't share the knowledge. You didn't share the wealth. You didn't share the responsibility. Now you're at a point where you have to do everything, or this situation will no longer maintain itself. So it's not that the group or the person put everything on you, it's that you grabbed it all. And now you're like, well, fuck. Even if I wanted help, they can't, right? They can't help. I have to do everything. So there's a lesson to be learned here, right? There's a lesson of humbleness. There's a lesson of knowing what your limitations are. And beyond that, you have to put your trust. And that might be what the real situation comes down to, Cancer. You don't trust others to do what you do. You don't trust others. It's hard for you to hand the reins over. So, for those of you who are familiar with the astrological significance between Cancer and Tarot, if you get a chance, look up the Chariot card. The Chariot card is all about determination. It's about achieving your goals. And it's about having the self-discipline to balance out the energies to move forward. The charioteer is in charge of the direction of that cart, the speed of the cart, everything that happens. And the cart itself represents time. So as things move forward, you want a hand in everything. But then it gets to be so much, and it's just you. You're so far ahead of everybody else. There's nobody who can help you, right? So you outrun, you outgrow, and you take on all the responsibility of the relationships in your life. And then the other person or people just tag along on your coattails. And it frustrates you. But ultimately, this reading is about self-care, right? You can't change the other person. But as you have these relationships and as you get into these relationships, you have to openly express the fact that you do take on too much and that you do want reciprocity in the long run. You have to warn the people that you're with that you have a tendency to take over, and you have to find a way to provide the leeway or the knowledge or the understanding in order to share the load. Other words, you're going to keep finding yourself in the same spot over and over and over again where you do it all and the other person is just there. And it's easy for them to just be there, right? It's easier for you to do it yourself than it is to teach somebody else how to do it. It's easier for you to do it yourself than it is to have the disagreement on how you think things should be done. But then eventually you're resentful. Over time, you become resentful of taking on all the responsibility. But you took that responsibility. You took it upon yourself. You put yourself in that situation. So, if you feel triggered or upset by this reading, please remember that it was intended to call out issues of self-care in order for self-improvement. But if you do feel triggered by this reading, feel free to vent your frustrations in the comments below, right? I'm a stranger. I will understand why you feel frustrated because I've been there before, and it's not easy to do this kind of self-care. It's not easy to look at the things that you do wrong and improve self. But ultimately, that's what's needed to improve all relationships in your life. So I hope you found a message that serves your highest good. I look forward to seeing your comments, and I will see you next time.